Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode. So, today we will be working on this PSP model 2001. Now, I've actually always wanted one of these. I do have a PSP Go, but I really wanted one with a disk drive, like the original ones. And I decided to go with the 2001 model. So I've been kind of looking, trying to get a really good deal on one for a while now. And then I saw this honey on Goodwill's auction website. And I just fell in love with the silver. I looked up the value and I was like, whoa, if I can get a good deal on this. It was listed as untested or parts of repair. The auction did say that that they didn't have a battery, so they couldn't test it, but just with the condition of it, there's only some slight surface scratches on the screen and then some scratching back here, but that is all to be expected, but had no evidence of a drop or anything like that. So I bid on it. I got it for a fairly decent price, taking a gamble that it was going to work, because in my experience, when it says that it's untested and it's in immaculate condition, generally when they come in, they work, and if they don't work, usually a clean, and then they work again. So took the chance, then it came in, and well, it's got some issues, and I'll show those to you in a second. Alright, so let's turn it on. So it does get sound, but as you can see, first issue with that is the screen's broken. But yet there's still another issue. Alright, so I had to put this thing on life support on my last take. This thing shut down on me, so hopefully this works this time. So let's put it back on. Also got a copy of Need for Speed Shift here with the UMD disc. Alright, so it's booting up. And hopefully the sound all comes in on my lapel mic here. So let's put the disc in. Here we go. Yep. So yeah, that wasn't a good sound. It's definitely all coming from the disk drive, but here's the kicker. It is reading the disc. Lights going. So it kind of sucks when you can't see what's going on, but just kind of judging by past games. Hit the start button. Alright, after some fumbling around, I don't know if it's picking up on mic, but the game is playing. So the drive is working, but it's making that really awful noise. So I guess the next step is, let's take this apart and see what's going on. Alright, so what's going on with this thing? So obviously there's an issue with the screen. Now it's really a noodle scratcher for me when I first noticed it, because like I said when I bought this thing, there was no damage to it whatsoever. So I do have a theory on what happened based upon some research that I saw. Now I needed to obviously buy a new battery, and I also needed to look for a new screen. So I was going through like the reviews on some of the screens on Amazon, and I started picking up on some things here. A few people were saying like, oh yeah, I bought the new screen. I put my PSP in the storage, and then the battery swelled, and I started getting these vertical lines on my screen. So I read a few different things about the battery swelling, so my theory on what happened to the screen is whoever owned this before clearly took care of it. But I think what might have happened was they haven't used it in years. They left the battery in. It swelled inside the disk drive, or inside the battery compartment, and then cracked the screen. So to rectify that, I bought from Total Console, they sell on eBay, a brand new screen for the PSP. Now you'll have to be sure you get the right one for your model, because all the different models have a different screen, and they are specific. They are not interchangeable. So then that leaves us on what happened to the disk drive. Now, also doing a little bit of research on this model in the 3000 series, it's actually known. It's a known issue with them that they make the squealing noise. What's good is that it's working. So the laser is good. So at the very worst case scenario, I'll have to replace the UMD drive, and at least I'll have a spare laser. But I've been doing some research online. I think I might have found a solution, and I think I might have understand what the problem is. And we'll get more into that when we get to the disk drive portion of this video. But for now, let's open this up and see if the screen will work. I guess the first thing we'll do is we gotta take out the battery. Move that to the side. Just put that to the side there. So I know there's a screw back here somewhere. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, I guess. Hopefully they're all the same size. We'll find out. First time ever opening one of these. Alright, and the last one should be somewhere underneath here. Trying to feel for it. Yeah, we'll start taking off the sticker, we'll find it. I don't think we have to worry about the warranty on this anymore. I actually want to try to preserve this one best I can, since this is going in my personal collection. Yeah, there it is, right in the middle. I mean, normally if I sell these things, I usually just rip it off. I mean, I saw one disassembly guide on this. Guy showed different ways of, showed a way of preserving the sticker so it doesn't say void, but if I'm being completely honest, I mean, I think that that's really shady. So I usually just rip them off so then the next owner or any subsequent owners know it's been opened and serviced. Alright, now hopefully this should just come right apart. Never opened one of these before, so... Oh, oh, there it goes. It wasn't too bad. Ah, it was buttons that were sticking there. I see some ribbon cables. 1, 2, 3 screws. Yeah. Start with these. It looks like those hold in the triggers. That's a little more free. Okay, now. Oh, sweet, there's a memory card in there. Just put that aside. Trying to go slow and methodically on this one. Next step that we gotta do, we gotta peel this back where the buttons are. And it doesn't want to go. There it goes. And we'll just fold that down. Doesn't need to be disconnected or anything. And then, all right, then next we're gonna gently pop off the old screen. My head's probably in the way, sorry. There's gonna be two ribbon cables that's holding this on. Got this one here and then this one here. Okay, and we gotta get these clamps off. So we're gonna try our best not to break anything. There's one.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Ah, shit.
You blew it!
That's really not good. Okay, so I am a total moron. So yes, you do have to flip up the tab, but I'm so used to it being in the front, that's where I was prying up. That is a terrible idea. I learned from my mistakes, so you actually lift up from the back. It's a lot easier when it's in the motherboard, but yeah, I'll show it. Lift up on the back there and then it swings open. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to solder this back onto the board. I might have an idea with some wire. It'll kind of not be in its original home, but we're gonna see if it'll work. And then we'll take it from there. All right, so after a little bit of rumination on this issue here, what I decided to do was to take these two pieces of wire and solder them right to the connections here. So there's only two connections for the backlight, so hopefully this will work, but only one way to find out. Let's get to it. Well, my soldering job was a little sloppy, but I'm only testing a theory out here. So originally I was going to do it into the connector, but the connector kind of fell apart, so I couldn't really solder it in, but I saw two solder points, so I tried it there. So really the only thing to do is put in the battery and see. In all fairness, I never said I was a professional at this, so not powering on. I wonder if that has to do with the, because I was having problems with the battery yesterday. I was working on it. This might need to be charging up. If I shine a light to it, I can see a little something. Okay, so I took a step back from this last night, and I'm back here the next day. Not because I got frustrated or anything, but because I needed to take a look at the schematic and kind of see if I can figure out a new solution for this. So basically, the pads on where this connector was are completely shot. So they ain't there anymore. So I took a look at the schematic, and basically I think I might have found a couple places I can tap into for the backlight. So this isn't as much of a how-to video at this point, so we're basically turning this now into a rescue mission. So I'm going to strip this completely down because I need to access the other side of the motherboard, and I'll see you on the next part. Alright, so this is kind of where I'm at here. I went and printed off the schematic, at least for the part of the circuit that I need. So this is the ribbon cable for the connector that I nicely ripped off. So It appears there's only 2 contact points. The 2 middle ones don't look like they're being used. So what I'm going to do, what I did was I traced these back to the last component that they were in. So the LCD screen's positive lead goes to this diode, and then this negative lead goes from this resistor. So basically what I'm doing now is I gotta try and locate it. This is what the board is, and this is the part of the circuit when I matched up the components here in the repair manual. I found the components here. So I zoomed in, because my printer doesn't print these out very well, to this circuit. So by tracing it where the electrical contacts are, I have to put the positive wire on this diode here, and then the negative on this side of the resistor here. So yeah, basically just followed the schematic and looked at the diagram, and that's where I ended up. So only one way to test to see if this works. All right, so now the man with the world's least steady hand is gonna try and get this on that resistor. According to my diagram, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, the very tiny one over there. See if I can do this without messing up. All right, so I'm gonna leave this video here for tonight. I did do a little bit of work off camera with the broken screen here. I plugged it in. I tried to solder these wires to the ribbon cable for the backlight, and I just couldn't get the solder to stick. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, leave a comment below on some tips and tricks, but I'm just a little too anxious to go ahead and use the brand new screen, which cost me $50. And do it that way. So I think what I'm gonna do is play it safe and get a new 4-pin connector and glue it to the board, and then solder these wires directly to that new connector. This way it'll be a little more secure, and other than that, yeah. The other thing I also did off camera too was I did plug in the new screen. It did go to the home screen, so I know that it works fine. And then I pressed these onto that connector, and the backlight did flicker to life. So I know it's wired correctly. It's good to go, and we'll see what we can do in part 2 of this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to catch part 2 if you haven't subscribed already. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.